God, it's been a wild year. That's for sure. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you can tell that in a different location. I'm actually at my parents' house right now. And it's been good, actually. It feels good to push back in a way, to get back to some sort of a comfort zone or a place in which I can be more relaxed and I can finally delegate some daily stuff. I'm talking about cooking, cleaning, or like this tight schedule or agenda to be able to deprioritize some stuff so I can focus on mostly my job and at the same time rebuild myself. Rebuild myself. That's a strong concept, but that's definitely the important one here. Last time I talked about failure and how failing might be necessary, but it's very hurtful. It's painful, and you can't get rid of that. It's you gotta keep on going with that. That's going to happen. That's going to stay there. But the thing is, how are you going to restructure yourself? How are you going to deal with that pain, not simply by carrying on, but also what actions are you going to do differently to get rid of that pain, to get better in front of that failure? And I guess the real topic here will be starting from zero doesn't mean starting from scratch, or maybe it's the other way around. Starting from scratch, it doesn't mean to start from zero. There's not such thing as a zero baseline because you're already in with all of your experiences. You're already in with all of the things that you have to struggle with all the fights that you probably lost, or the fights that you won as well. The plans that worked and the plans that didn't. All of those are essential, and all of those are part of this entire journey. And I'm telling all of this as a reminder to myself as well. Like, that's the important part. It's part of the journey. You're not always going to win. You're probably going to lose most of the times. What are you going to do about it? And to be able to fix yourself, to rebuild yourself, is not an easy task. And as vulnerable as it may sound, and as painful as it may sound, it is necessary to go back to some comfort place, to a moment, or a physical place, or maybe a social place in which you can actually be safe. That's the right term. Safe. And that's hard. That's tough. That's tough. Um, at the same time that I'm here at my parents' house trying to rest and mostly reflecting and thinking a lot about my daily routine, we're finally getting our mini series, our show that we were creating for a brand. We are finally getting that online. So officially, the product that we've been working the last months that have been struggling a lot, it's finally on air. It's finally out there on social media, and it's getting some relevance, and that's pretty. That's actually a success. But I still haven't eat that or digest that as a complete success. And I think that's kind of a whole thing for a different video, definitely. But it's important to realize, it's important to be able to see that maybe that could be considered as a big success for a lot of people, but in my case, that I'm the one who is completely invested in that project, it does not look as a success. And that's tough. That's tough. But to me, a way to kind of to compensate myself now that I'm not celebrating is by resting, is by, and I'm going to keep on using this word, rebuild myself, because I have seen what things didn't work out. I I I have seen what actions, what thoughts, what plans, which plans didn't work. And now I'm trying to learn from that. But I need some safe space to actually look at that, to reflect on that, and to say, okay, I'm gonna keep on pushing, I'm gonna keep on doing stuff, but I definitely need to do that differently. And as I am rebuilding myself, as I am redirecting this entire journey, it doesn't mean that I am particularly stopping, because I'm still working. I'm still on online meetings. I'm still working even on, schedule free days, holidays, and stuff like that. I'm still working. And I think to me, it's not as much of a sacrifice because I'm very invested on the things that I'm doing and I still want to progress. I still want these things to work out. So I'm going to do it differently. And for that, I need to probably double my efforts. I need to work as twice as hard. But it's all with a direction, with a goal in mind. And I think that's the important part. Even if you're going to rebuild yourself, you must have some real goal to be pushing towards. And that's the thing. It's not easy to admit it. It's a very vulnerable thing to do, and you might feel weak, definitely. I will say that I do feel weak. I do see myself as I am coming back as a failure, maybe, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to keep on pushing. And to keep yourself in a good state of mind, to keep yourself willing and capable of pushing, you need to find that safe space to keep on going. And that's the hard part, but it's necessary. You're going to fail. You're going to be in pain. It's going to hurt. And you're going to get through that. You're going to get through that. But give yourself a little breath. Go to that safe space in which you can rebuild yourself. That place where you can actually think fully, completely focus on that thing that you need to think about. And now you keep on pushing. You are actively building yourself. You're actively working towards something real, something that you feel that's real. You believe that's real. And if you believe it, it is real. If you believe it, it is real. As long as you work on that. Actions. That's the point. That's the point. So, yeah, go ahead. Stay in some safe place as much as you need. And I really hope that you can do that. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, to feel that pain. And you can do all of that while at the same time working, while at the same time doing actions, being active on your road. You're just not pushing that hard, right? You're just not pushing that hard. But you can do it. That's the whole thing. That's how you can rebuild. You can start over without starting from scratch. That's how you do it. Which is the best?